Hello everyone! We are back for another month of reading where our TBR is inspired by a D&D TBR game created by Tori Between Pages. Last month I played Roll for Reads for the first time in September, and when I tell you I had the most fun filming that TBR and reading throughout the month of September. And in October, Tori has something even more special for us. We are doing like a D&D inspired campaign with our characters we created last month in September. So this is the Storybook Snare, and this is going to help me choose some books for my October TBR. I'm unclear still at this point where I'm filming the last week of September on whether or not we still play the base game, so you might be seeing another Roll for Reads inspired TBR from me for the month of October, playing the base game that I played last month. But right now I'm just going to film. I am filming a bit early. I haven't finished my September TBR in totality yet. I want to prepare the Storybook Snare. So I will of course have Tori's video linked down below where she is in character as the barmaid. We are tired after exploring dungeons, battling creatures in the month of September, and I will pop up with my character, who is a ranger, what she looks like. She does need a name. I did decide to go with a female ranger character, and this is just some art I found when Googling. I hope it's real art and not AI generated. I'm not the best at being able to tell, if I'm being completely honest. We need to rent a room in this charming looking inn. We've rented a room, we're sitting down, we're having a drink, and we discover this like storybook on the table. It's propped open to a random page. Upon further inspection, this tome appears ancient. As though a gust of wind comes barreling through a window, the pages begin turning rapidly. The wind seems to swirl around you. Glancing around frantically, you find you're no longer at the table. You've been pulled inside this book of monsters and horrors. Time to get out by fighting or flirting/befriending your way through. So in order to escape the storybook, we need to complete 5 prompts. If we complete 7 or more prompts, we do generate a lot of bonus XP. So that is going to be my goal, but I'm not going to take any punishments or disadvantages if I don't complete prompts 6 and 7. But I do need to complete the first 5 I generate to escape the Storybook Snare. So this is filled with even more scary monsters than the base game is, and each has 2 prompts. One that we befriend or flirt with this monster, or we fight the monster. There are items we can get along the way that also generate XP for our character. I will say, as of this moment that I'm filming, again, it's still September, I only have generated like 450 XP for my character, so we're only like a level 2. So we definitely need the bonus XP. If we read 3 or less of the prompts by the end of the month, then we definitely have a punishment going on because we've been trapped in the book and our character takes a significant hit on their XP. I will have Tori's video below if you are interested in following along and reading more details. There is a whole document explaining this campaign. So there are 12 different monsters. We will be rolling a d12 to determine which of the ones that we are either flirting with, befriending, or battling. And then there is the chance to gain 5 different items and the bonus XP that goes along with that, of course. So I'm going to stop rambling about this. I have 3 stacks of books beside me of books that I am interested in for the fall season, and I'm so excited to get to, but I can't decide what books to read, and that's where this TBR game comes in. So we will be rolling a d12, and we're gonna roll 7 times. Again, the first 5 are like mandatory. I need to read those to escape the storybook unscathed. and if we read 7 or more, then we get at least 7,000 bonus XP, which is amazing. So I'm recording my screen. I'm going to roll a d12, and first up we do get a 12. 12 is the Wraith. Wraiths are malice incarnate, concentrated in an incorporeal form that seeks to quench all life. The creature is suffused with negative energy, and its mere passage through the world leaves nearby plants blackened and withered. When a mortal human lives a debased life or enters into a fiendish pact, it consigns its soul to eternal damnation in the lower planes. We can get an item if we fight, which I definitely think we're going to do. So the fight prompt is the Hallowed. And this says, in order to overcome this dreary negative enemy, read a book overflowing with positive energy. Think happy endings, maybe a sunshiny character, grumpy sunshine, or has an uplifting mood, tone, or message. Item gained, fight prompt only, is a corpse mask. Once completed, you gain a corpse mask. For 1 hour, you can take on the appearance of a humanoid that you have seen die. For this prompt, I'm going to choose the X Hex by Aaron Sterling. This is definitely giving October vibes. I've heard that this is kind of a funny paranormal romance. We're involving a witch, Vivian Jones, and she handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would: vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago. Now Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts, and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of, okay, I'm gonna stop reading there. She accidentally on purpose curses her ex, and I think this is Second Chance. And I've heard that it's funny, it's witchy, it's perfect for October. I think that that is going to have like a lot of positive energy. I think I'm going to have a smile on my face, so I definitely think that fits the prompt. Roll number 2. We get a 12 again. I actually don't want to repeat prompts or monsters within the same TBR. I could like then befriend or flirt, or should I do that? Do we fight with a Wraith and then the next Wraith we encounter, we flirt with them? Okay, maybe we'll do that. So we fought with the Wraith and now we're befriending another Wraith. I feel like that is just a recipe for disaster because they're going to discover that we vanquished one in the past, but that's all right. So we're still with the Wraith category, but this time we're going to befriend / flirt. And it says, consumed by shadows, read a book only at night or in the early morning until it is finished. Become one with the shadows to befriend or win over this enemy. The Scared Sexy collection, the Amazon originals, I definitely want to read those in October, and I feel like this really lends itself to a short and sweet novella. So I am going to go with that. Oh, the first book in that series is Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. It says, when a vampire slayer loses all his memories, the only person who can help him is the vampire he's tried to kill for centuries. In this unforgettable short story by Ali Hazelwood, and it's just roughly 100 pages. So I feel like that is a good one to read at night. I can read that before bed one night and that will check another book off the list. I feel like this is going so well. I'm setting myself up for success. Roll number 3 is 11. Monster 11 is a werewolf. A werewolf is a savage predator. In its humanoid form, a werewolf has heightened senses, a fiery temper, and a tendency to eat raw or rare meat. Its wolf form is a fearsome predator, but its hybrid form is most terrifying, a furred, well-muscled humanoid body with the head of a wolf. It can wield weapons in its hybrid form, but prefers tearing with its claws and bite. If bitten, one must roll a Constitution saving throw or gain the werewolf curse. Okay, so fight full moon rising, but if you fail this prompt, you have to roll for a disadvantage. And we might get the werewolf curse, but if we befriend or flirt with the werewolf, we could win its loyalty. I feel like that needs to be where I'm at. I do not want to risk getting the werewolf curse, so we are going to befriend this werewolf. The Pack's Bond. Read a book featuring friendship, found family, or loyalty to win over this foe. Okay, so for a book featuring friendship, found family, or loyalty, I'm going with Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff, the final book in the Nevernight Chronicles. Our female main character, Mia Corvair, watched her entire family perish and has been out for revenge. She is extremely loyal to her family and builds up her own found family, people she can trust, people that she relies on. I feel like this fits the prompt. Some of these were really tricky. We are going to roll for the 4th time. We got the number 3. We will be battling the shadow demon, or we haven't decided if we're fighting them or befriending them. When a demon's body is destroyed, but the fiend is prevented from reforming in the abyss, its essence sometimes takes a vague physical form. Shadow demons all but disappear in the darkness and can creep about without making a sound. They use their insubstantial claws to feed on victims' fears, to taste its memories, and drink in its doubt. Fight prompt: you have to fight against the shadow demon's stealthy ways and avoid its attempts to infiltrate your mind. Read a book where the darkness has a voice and it's seductive. Open to your interpretation. I feel like that lends itself to like a gothic fantasy. Or am I way off? Okay, the befriend or flirt prompt. To avoid the shadow demon's tactics, pick a story where the villain isn't seen until they're already inside your head. Think psychological books, hidden, secretive, creepy antagonists, like a stalker romance, mind monsters, etc. I don't think I want to go that route. Okay, we're gonna fight the shadow demon, and I don't know how much the gothic house affects things, but I feel like it's quite a bit in this book if I'm understanding this correctly. Because it says, I dream sometimes about a house I've never seen. I should be scared, but in the dream I don't hesitate. In my dream I'm home. A gorgeously modern gothic fantasy. Welcome to Starling House. Enter if you dare. I clearly summarized that and skipped a whole lot of text. So I feel like the darkness is kind of a part of the story. I might read this and discover that I am way off, but I'm going to choose Starling House by Alex E. Harrow for this prompt in fighting the shadow demon. Roll number 5. We get a 5. Doppelganger. Devious shapeshifters that can take the appearance of other humanoids, throwing off pursuit or luring their victims to their doom with misdirection and disguise. Found in every land and culture, they can take the guise of any individual of any race. This will be very difficult to befriend or defeat. We do get an item if we fight the doppelganger. Okay, so I feel like we have to do that to get the 700 bonus XP. So the doppelganger transforms into a version of you. In addition to psychological damage, you now have to fight against yourself. Read a book where the character has aspects that reflect some of you, something that you relate to, or has themes in the book you relate to. Item gained. Once completed, you gain an enchanted mirror. This helps you identify things that aren't as they seem. You can see through illusions and have insight into trickster type foes. I definitely think that that is a good item to have. Now I need a book that I relate to in some way. I have heard Sam Reads a Little highly recommend this book in particular of Kristen Hanna's that seems to be less popular than The Women, The Nightingale, these books that you hear a lot about. And this one says, for 18 years, Jude Faraday has put her children's needs above her own, and it shows. I am definitely guilty of that. I am a mom of 3 boys. I put everyone, the 3 boys, my husband, above my own needs all the time, and I am trying to do better at practicing some self-care, doing some things that I enjoy, etc. So that is how I'm relating this book to this prompt. I think this is going to be a really emotional story, and I know I'm going to bawl my eyes out, as Kristen Hanna tends to do. So this is on the October TBR. Roll number 6 is a 10. That is the harpy. Its sweet song has lured countless adventurers to their deaths, drawing them in close for the harpy to kill, then consume. A harpy has some bird-like features mixed with humanoid features. To hear a harpy's song is to hear music more beautiful than anything else in the world. A traveler that succumbs to the entrancing effect of that singing is compelled to blunder towards its source. The prey can be lured over cliffs, into quicksand and other traps to get stuck and make it easier for the harpy. I do not want to be friends with the harpy because that sounds terrifying. We are also going to fight the harpy. I don't even know what the prompt is, but Sky-born fury, in an aim to escape this deadly, enchanting song, you run away from any hint at music in the air. Read a fast-paced, high-stakes, unputdownable book to run like the wind. I want to reread The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes so I can then get on to the second book, which I don't know if I'll be able to get on this TBR, but I read this so quickly when I read it the first time. It was 5 stars, I believe. I could not put it down. It is just over 300 pages and I read it so fast. It's definitely high stakes. We are following these young people who have special abilities that lend themselves to be very useful to like the FBI. They're very good at profiling or like reading people. They're really good at detecting lies. They have these uncanny abilities that will help the FBI solve cold cases and catch serial killers. So there are high stakes in this book. It was unputdownable the first time I read it. I want to reread this. And lastly, prompt number 7, we are getting number 4. I'm glad that we got a good variety. I was a little bit worried after roll 1 and 2 were both number 12. The Merilith, terrible to behold. This demon has the lower half of a great serpent and the upper torso of a humanoid female with 6 arms. Wielding a wicked blade in each of its hands, they are a devastating foe that few can match in battle. They possess keen minds and a finely honed sense of tactics. They are able to lead and unite other demons in common causes. Even just reading that, I know I do not want to fight this demon. I want to befriend or flirt with them. And then I scroll and I can see that we get an item gained if we do so. So we are befriending or flirting with the Merilith. And the item gained is the Merilith teaches you a song called The Dance of Blades. When sung, the vocalist receives deadly precision, especially wielding multi-weapons in combat. Although it's not a physical item, its value is immense and you gain 2,000 XP. So the prompt to do so is gain some experience before negotiating with this Merilith by reading a book featuring a deadly, beautiful, and terrifying character who leads through strength and or fear. For that, I'm going to choose Lady of Embers by Melissa K. Rorick. This is the 4th book in the Lady of Darkness series. Our main character, Scarlet, is definitely beautiful, very powerful, and she does lead with strength in that she is the strongest with the strongest power. Is she a great leader? I would disagree with that, but here we are. I am buddy reading this series with my book bestie Sam, so we are on to Lady of Embers, the 4th book in this series. It's well over 600 pages, so it's going to take me quite a while, but in order to befriend the Merilith, I'm willing to put in the effort and get this Dance of Blades song as well. Those were my 7 rolls for my Storybook Snare campaign. I'm so excited. I have so much fun filming these. I'm really happy with my TBR. I feel like I have a great variety of different genres, a lot of very fast-paced reads, and some shorter books compared to last month, which I'm very thankful for. I have 2 books on my Kindle, and I think this is a great start to my October reads. I still need to figure out if we still play the base game, and I know Tori did say if we are doing the base game, then we can double up and fit these books into those prompts as well. But for now, I'm going to set these books aside for the month of October. And I'm really hopeful for a successful reading month and that I'll be able to read so many books and gain more XP for my character. Thank you, Tori, once again for creating the role for Reads, this D&D inspired TBR game. It's been so much fun already. And this is only the 2nd month. I have been enjoying filming this and keeping track of my XP for my character. I know a couple of you said you really liked the simplicity of my TBR game, and we might get to the point where I can play both, but because we're doing this Storybook Snare campaign, I am skipping Roll the Dice with a Dash of Chaos once again for the month of October. I will try and get back to that as well and just do both modes of picking a big pile of possibilities for my TBR. Let me know what you think of this TBR game. Let me know all your feedback in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!